When I think about Volume 2, this has actually been like the maddest fucking 2 years of my life, man. Boys, I'm down for practice on Thursday. Just listening to Caveat there again, and I actually can't stop listening to it. It's my favourite song of ours. Like, I just love it. Like, I love it so much. I think we should actually try and work that into the set.
Caveat for me was like the kick-off point for Volume 2. It was written way earlier than everything else.
When we wrote Caveat, I felt like I figured out what we needed to do for the rest of the songs.
Yeah.
And I like had a vision to chase, like a really clear vision for like probably the first time like ever.
The fact that like Caveat was the first song we ever played live.
Yeah.
And that just goes to show technically how long this has been a production.
Yeah, exactly.
It's always been the one. It's been the one that we play live that everybody goes to the ground for, and then we have the big jumpy like dancey bit.
We definitely took the flavours from V1 that are strongest live and ran with them in V2.
Oh, like turn it to 11.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
To me, that's where the significance of Caveat comes from. Caveat, the song, is like a picture of us learning how to do what we do.
I think maybe there'd been too much planning initially with V2. Yeah. Because a lot of stuff came in very rigid. It did adjust as we went, but the first few days I think people were still in their heads with like the song goes like this.
Some of Volume 2 soul destroying at times.
Volume 2 I think has a lot more of you know, our lives in it. I think that comes through. I think you can feel that in the music. You can feel, you know. I think that's the difference between Volume 1 and Volume 2. Is that.
Wait, I'll just feel these feelings later. I'll take the pain, I put pen to paper, my word, my savior. You think you're better, cause we have less, it makes you feel safe. Forget the dread, if we can't get bread, then we lead your cake.
There was definitely more, I think, altercations between the band in terms of songwriting and where we were going as well than say on Volume 1. There was definitely a few fights had and people were fighting for parts and all that, and I actually think it ultimately made a better album when I had to sit ourselves down and go, lads, the best idea wins.
Well, yeah, it's just more significant. It just has more of a significance to it, I think, in terms of, like, you know, emotionally and stakes was.
Demonstrate, really, there was fights in the band about it because it was pretty much a dance track.
A song like Demonstrate, like, which would not have made Volume 1. Like, it just wouldn't have.
I think me and Lurks, like, very much were like locked in on that. For me, in terms of the lyrics, and then I think for Lurks in terms of the music, you know, we kind of knew from jump that it was something that was very, that was really special and it needed to be there.
I'm flying, levitate, kill them all, devastate, I'll be straight in, never wait, president.
I think there's a lot of strong personalities in the band. That's a great way to put it. Navigating the intricacies of a band as complicated as Idle Discourse can get tough. It's very hard to keep everyone happy at once. No one's ever going to 100% agree on things. So finding a way for everyone to be heard with their parts can be a touchy subject sometimes. Between the demo versions and the final product, a lot of stuff changed, and that was just due to people being open to hearing other people's ideas.
Very proud of the writing process. Rotten Egg.
The vulnerable side of being seen as a problem child. That's how I interpret it.
Neil, do you have anything for us, Neil? Do you have anything for us, Neil?
One small step for man,
Yeah, I felt the spark was still a bit fresh with Rotten Egg.
Yeah, Rotten Egg was basically us kind of finding our feet again as a band. You know, we wrote it kind of volume 1 style, where it was like all of us in the room kind of going like, oh, this would be fun, and like, oh yeah, like let's add this, and it was very much kind of like childlike excitement.
My favourite part of the process was definitely the fact that Rotten Egg was pretty much written in an afternoon.
The end of the bridge, you end up, you know, finishing it with another Rotten Egg, there's no diagnosis, and we're like, well, the song's called Rotten Egg, that's the fucking chorus. So I was like, alright, Lord, hop on the mic and just do that. And he started being like, yeah, come get it, adding this extra thing just to fill the space. And we sent it to you and you're like, oh, this is banging.
Yeah, come get it. Another Rotten Egg, it was no diagnosis. Yeah, come get it all. Another Rotten Egg, it was no diagnosis.
I think you have to feel truth from music. Not like, oh, this is nice, this is really good. You know what I mean?
Like a child, I'm hiding from the thunder. Silently I suffer, not a fighter, I'm a lover. But I've been left in pain too long, that love just makes me shudder. And everybody's fighting with their sisters and their brothers. See, the world is fucking buckling and I've been getting smothered. Cause I pick up all this energy and I carry all the clutter. People out here smiling like they wouldn't melt the butter, while the fuckers take your money and they leave you in the gutter.
Craig seems to put himself into a new character for each song. He's almost an actor at times, where you believe every word he's saying, no matter if it's the polar opposite of the song before. It all comes from somewhere true, and that just keeps me coming back to the songs. You don't get bored of hearing someone's story, you know.
I always have the feeling that there's a semblance of hope in my writing, and there's also like just a kind of a celebration of the human condition, you know. I think it's about vulnerability. It's the reasons why we're vulnerable, and they're generally good reasons. Like, you know what I mean? It's for like trying to make things better. It's for looking to a better future.
Favourite track, I think, is probably Devil You Know. But I'm waiting fear of inevitable, and I'm thinking that this could be.
It does what Idle Discourse, I think, wants to do, in that it like genre bends just
Big time.
all the time.
So even like the Devil You Know even kind of took on meaning of its own more than I even meant it at the time. Like probably the two biggest life events that could have happened to me in those 2 years. I've had a kid and my father's passed away. So that kind of all strangely kind of like prefaces the project for me. And in the downs and the lows, like he was, you know, there was times when my dad had saved this band, because he was just like, I think at times all of us kind of felt like we're like, you know what I mean, I don't know where this is going to go, I don't know if this is going to work, but like my dad, on my part anyway, always like fucking kept me in the game. Like
The meaning that he has behind it kind of makes the song a little bit more special now as well.
I guess just coming from a supportive environment, I wouldn't have been the person I am. I wouldn't have wrote the words I wrote without him. I knew it was going to be a story about father and son, and that's what it's about. That's what it was about from the start. It's about the things that we inherit, and the things that we learn from our fathers, and then the things that maybe we pass on to our sons, and those lessons, and then how the world, you know, isn't always kind of, the world kind of seems to kind of even encroach on that then sometimes. But then Lorx had always know that you are impenetrable, and like that just kind of prefaced the point that I was trying to make.
We definitely learned a lot from the experience of Volume 2. As much as it took out of us, it definitely gave us a lot more, and it's a massively exciting project.
Always know that you are impenetrable.
focus, embrace your pain.